I loves me some 1 degree of Chunky B.
Now, I just have to make a comment about Chunky B. Have you ever seen him looking so good?
The panel then includes actress Lady Kazan, comedian Chunky B, and Playboy TV host Julie Strain. Chunky?
What was the question? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to 1 Degree of Chunky B in the Garage of Love. And I'm going to honestly tell you, I get overexcited, but goosebumps again. And you get a good guess when you get goosebumps on your shins. And I'm going to tell you who is on the podcast in just a second. Let me introduce you to the Wizard of the Knob. Oh, wait a second. The Wizard isn't here. Executive producer, Gary Adler.
Oh my God, I just clicked to the wrong person.
Did you
gave away our guest.
Oh, wait, if you just gave away our guest.
It's okay.
You guys, let me tell you something else.
Hang on, I'm on me now.
Now everybody knows.
That's right.
The whole world knows. They got one glimpse of me. They know now. There's no secrets.
Gary Adler, who absolutely is one of the best podcast executive producers.
Thank you, John.
Let me tell you a little something about Four-Eyed Films. Four-Eyed Films. Go on the internet if you want anything creative. If you are having a jam with anything you want, almost in life, he's over at the Game Show Network, but we're not mad at him. Once again, round of applause for Gary Adler.
Thanks, Chunky. That's a nice introduction. And by the way, the Wizard is not here. He had to work tonight. Yeah. We're doing a special recording on a Monday.
Yep.
And so I've kind of taken the reins. I can't say I'm exactly whatever he does. The Wizard of the Knobs. There it is.
Right.
There it is.
Right.
But I'll do my best.
Right on. Can we talk about? We still have to feed the Wizard. And we do have a donation button.
Yes, we do.
And we had a production meeting right before our guest showed up, Tom Riles, which I will properly introduce in just a second.
Right.
But we're getting traction. And I want to tell you people, I kid you not, with all my heart, thank you for tuning in. I cannot believe we are slowly growing with more and more, mostly listeners, but you guys that are actually watching, we got video.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's exciting.
So go to, and if you're doing any shopping on Amazon, I know this is redundant, but listen to me. You can go to chunkyb.tv. You can go to 1 Degree of Chunky B, and you can shop through our website.
That's right.
And then we get a little slice, and then we can feed our Wizard.
That's right. And you know what else?
What?
Go to our Facebook page and tell us what you bought on Amazon, and we'll talk about it on the show.
We will feature you. We will mention your name. And real quick, before we go, and I can see the super cutie across the table. His name's Tom Riles. But I want to say thank you to our super fans. Karen, oh my God, baby, don't give up on me. I know I don't respond as much as I should. And Don DeBear, I love. I love you. Tweet like the wind, brother. Tweet like the wind. And if you're, oh God, I'll tweet you and get you dialed into some of my thoughts about you. And then Mary Kay.
We'll see you Saturday, Mary Kay.
Yeah, we'll see.
No.
This will pass. Yeah. Okay, undivided attention.
What
Look
about,
me in the eye.
Can you just do one quick sponsor plug?
Oh, let's do two.
Yeah.
You know something? When you want to drink beer, and sometimes we go to we'll do a little bourbon on ice. But when we're drinking beer, check this out. It's Venice Duck. And just go ahead and cut to Tom. We're going to talk to Tom in a second.
That's awesome.
All right, boom.
There he is. Look at that face.
That's it right there.
That's a face for podcast.
Yeah. Delicious. Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome.
And I want to say thank you to John Henry and Christian Warren because, and by the way, I was with Christian just the other day. He's got this little baby, and he's got the pouch. And Tom, we're going to talk about babies because I know you are a baby specialist. He's got the pouch. He was so great, and we're going to talk about he's opened up a pizzeria. We'll talk about that.
Come on, that's
But
awesome.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to do the jerky, check this out. Court, thank you. We've got the best Alberta jerky. And the reason why I seem a little preoccupied is because I want to talk about a gentleman by the name of Tom Riles. Across the table, in the Garage of Love.
There he is.
Round of applause
What's
for Tom
up?
Riles.
What's up, America? Here in the garage. I'm pumped to be here, guys. Thanks so much for having me. This is you. By the way, you may or may not know this. This guy is one of the mentors. One of the guy I do audience warm up, and he was one of the first guys doing it in town. So it's an honor to be in here. So thanks for having me.
Thank you. You just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
And I will not forget, a couple years ago, you thanked me by saying, meet me at Dodger Stadium. And we sat
yes.
on the third base side.
We did.
First base side. And I will never forget how generous you are.
Yeah.
Tom Riles is an amazing individual on a lot of levels. He is by far a guy that I brag about being one of the best warm-up guys, not only in Hollywood, but in the country. And I stand by that because you are awesome. I've seen you multiple times in action. And it is... it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch because we have two different styles.
Right. But,
And that's
yeah,
why
right.
that's why it's like, okay, Tom Riles does his thing, Chunky B does his thing.
I can usually tell if I'm at a show. I'm like, well, because there's certain guys that write for certain shows, so I'll know, if this is a me show or is this a Chunky show, and I'll know within minutes. It's like, oh, maybe Chunky should have gotten this gig, but then some I'm like, you know what? Yeah, this is my style right here.
And I'm so happy for you because you have a home with Ellen.
This is true. 10 years ish, almost 10 years. Crazy. You know how those long-term gigs go. You hold on to it. And cross those fingers. Keep it. Appreciate it. Yeah.
She is, first of all, it's an awesome show. Mm-hmm. You're blessed to dial into that. Mm-hmm. Let's say, I didn't know we were going to talk about this right off the bat.
No,
Let's talk about it right now.
Yeah.
What's your day-to-day, your love or your pressure? How is it over at, you're over at NBC?
We're at Warner Brothers now.
my
We
bad.
were at NBC, so we were right next to Leno for the first 5 years of the show or so,
Right.
and then Carson Daly was right next door to us. But then we went to Warner Brothers after season 5. It's fantastic. I mean, you're at Warner Brothers, one of the best movie studios in town,
Yep.
And you know how these shows go. I'm so blessed there because it's all fans of the show. They freaking love her, and they're so pumped to be there. Never a paid audience member ever. Everyone in that crowd is excited and happy and good looking and pumped, and
Yep.
it's pretty amazing. It's an amazing feel to have, so it's pretty cool.
Give me your day-to-day breakdown. What time do you show up at work?
Huh?
Give me some details. 'Cause,
Totally.
I just finished up a 9-year run with Ferguson.
Right.
I want to know your time frame.
What was always big for me from the beginning is like kind of like really feeling like part of the family, because you have to, if you get a gig like that, you wanna hold on to that thing as long as you can, you know. So I'll usually go in around 12-ish, 12 or 12:30. There's a rehearsal at 1:30, which I'm there for, just talking to people, being seen, chatting to the producers if there's any notes and such. And then we have I have a little downtime. A lot of people, that's their crazy time.
Right.
But when everyone's kind of getting crazy and, planning the show and all that, I have my kind of quiet time where I get ready, go on out, do my thing.
I don't mean to break down exact details, but your quiet time, do you walk off set?
I'll take a little walk around the lot, or just, check my email. I got a little couch upstairs where I don't have a dressing room. The only show I ever did. You ever get a dressing room?
Yes.
I only did on Hollywood Squares, and that was my first warm-up gig ever. And I thought that's how it was. I was like, all right, the rest of my career, I'm gonna have a dressing room, and they had drinks for me in there and snack. I was 22, and I had a dressing room at Hollywood Squares, and then I've not had one for any show since. And I'm not complaining, but it was just funny that's what my mindset was.
Right.
And then it kind of came back to reality.
One season of Sharon Osbourne.
Really?
Dressing room and a parking spot.
Wow.
And the parking spot, this was over at KTLA, Van Ness and Sunset. And they would not put Chunky B on my parking spot.
You tried?
They were like, no, we don't want anyone to know that you negotiated, because I negotiated on my deal.
Right, nice.
I want a parking spot and a dressing room. Brian O'Rourke. They used my real name.
Oh, all right.
That's not right.
I know. Just give it to me. But then when I got deep into Ferguson, when the glory years of Craig Ferguson, they put Chunky B.
Nice. You got one, yeah.
I got it at CBS.
Yeah.
And one of the ladies that were working there, she's like, I've been working here 25 years. I don't even have a parking spot. So it was like,
Yeah.
Every single day.
No,
I was
there's
counting
always
my blessings.
parking spots. There's always I see. I'm one that's never gonna. It was never offered to me, and that's not. I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
You know, I would rather just kind of park somewhere. And I've, because of the job, I bought a house. I have a family. I have kids. You know, and I'm forever thankful.
Yes.
So
Right.
some of the little things. I'm like, whatever.
Chunk, do you mind if I ask him a question real quick?
Adler, that's why you're here, brother.
Wait, it is Gary, right?
It is
okay,
Gary.
I wanted to make sure. I didn't want to call you the wrong name on there.
Where are you from?
Sure.
How did you get out here?
Yeah.
Tell us about that journey.
So I grew up in New Jersey, and I was a really quiet kid growing up. And when I was in college, I went to the College of New Jersey, Trenton State College. It used to be called. Now it's TCNJ. And I took an improv class there, and that was the coolest thing ever. Like I'm not a stand-up. I don't really do jokey type stuff, but I took an improv class, and I had so much fun with it. And it just kind of opened up my mind, and it made me a more confident person, and made me excited about doing comedy in some way. And my senior year, I was a communication major, meanwhile. And my senior year, I got an internship at Conan, and that was taping in New York at the time. And that was my favorite TV show at the time. So I went there.
So you're freaking out.
Oh, it was nuts. I was a script intern, so I was in the middle of it, giving the scripts to the head writers and, having lunch with, Conan would walk in. We were all having lunch. It was incredible. And then I saw the writer, Brian McCann, that was doing the warm-up, and I was like, oh, my gosh. And I'd never been to a TV show before. I was like, that is the coolest job that I've ever seen. A guy just having full control over a happy room, and the crowd was into it. And then he introduces Conan, and he takes the stage, and it was just the most exciting, crazy thing. And I was 21 at the time, and that was my dream, to have that job at 21. Fast forward a year later, I was doing it on a show in New York called the Ananda Lewis Show.
Hang on, back up a second.
Yeah, sure.
How did you get that job?
Yeah. So I didn't get hired at Conan, but sometimes that's a good thing to not get hired on a hit show if you're just beginning your career, because there's nowhere to move up. Nobody leaves a show like that. They want to stay right where they are.
Right.
So I got hired as a PA on the Ananda Lewis Show, which actually premiered the day before 9/11. It premiered on Monday. What was it? September 10th.
How fortuitous.
2001. Yeah. And so the ratings, all anyone watched was news for a few weeks for good reason. Right. Just a rough start to the show and the world at that point, even more so. And the show never really kind of got its wheels. So we knew within a few months that it wasn't going to go more than the season. And then the EPs brought us into the room. The PAs are like, all right, the show, it probably isn't going to last. What do you guys want to do? And I knew that I wanted to do warm-up. So I was like, let me do the warm-up. And they're like, well, it's kind of a heavy show, so we don't really need anybody out there having fun. But after asking a couple more times, they gave me the gig. Not getting paid, but a PA, just doing it for free and learning. And I did that for the final 3 months of that show. That show got canceled, moved out to L.A., and that was produced by King World Productions. And King World also produced Hollywood Squares. I got hired. I went back to a PA there, but I had my warm-up reel. At least I knew that I could do it, and I knew if I got it in the right hands, hopefully something would happen there. Then the next season of Hollywood Squares, same thing, budget cuts, couldn't afford the guy. They watched my reel, they liked it. And then I did that for a year, and then that led to a bunch of other shows after that. So that was my first big one out here.
And then that's when you and I became friends.
Exactly.
And helping each other out.
Mm-hmm. That was 2003-ish, right around then. Yeah, so that was when we met for the first time, and you were doing every show in town then. I remember showing up to a show, and I think I was doing like the final show of the day. You had done the first 4 or something like that, And you left. There's something when Chunky leaves the stage, he leaves this. Everyone. I don't know. You have quite a following. I don't know. Everyone there loves you, but everyone notices when he's gone, and then when I walk in, right? And then you left behind your big basket of candy, and there's no better gift a warm-up guy can give to another warm-up guy than a huge. And this thing was massive. It was like that big.
Were they all chunkies?
Man, something. What makes me feel good is, Tom Riles, yes.
What better gift could you give a warm-up guy than T-shirts and a big basket of candy? Come on, and that's what you gave me when we first met. So I was very thankful.
But the call was that the dude was so cool, and he was like, "Listen to me, I go to Dodger games. It meant the world to me, and I know I mentioned it earlier, but the dude calls me and says, hey, you've gotten me a couple gigs. You're bringing me into the fold. I got a Dodger ticket. Meet me at the game." And we did. It was, something. And Tom Riles, those little things don't go unnoticed, and I'm never going to forget it. And we're going to talk a whole bunch more about even warm up. But are we to? Can I flip the script?
Do whatever you want. It's your show, brother.
All right, check this out. Everybody watching, go on a computer right now. A little thing called lifeofdad.com.
Boom.
All right, this guy across the table, he may be a jokester, sure. He's good looking and he's got a wife, and you got 2 punks now, right?
Yeah, 2 of them. Yeah.
And he's a really, really good guy, and I want everybody to know that right now, 1 Degree of Chunky B, just dial into Life of Dad. And this guy, not only is he a great guy, he's got a great heart. And speaking of hearts, I think that's what made you a really strong dad.
Yeah.
And is it okay for me to bring this up
it's
about
fine.
your daughter? Mm-hmm. Why don't you take over for what I'm talking about?
Sure.
When I mean hearts.
Yeah, yeah. When my wife was 18 weeks pregnant with our first kid, we found out that there were some serious medical things going on, and we what should have been the happiest doctor's appointment. Sorry, it's going to get a little sad here for a second.
No, break it down.
It's all good. Yeah. What should have been the happiest appointment, we found out that there was something really wrong with her heart, and best case scenario, the baby would be born and have surgery immediately after. And worst case scenario, wouldn't make it to birth. So that was kind of, and it was leaning towards that direction, that we wouldn't make it all the way through.
Wow.
So, as the months went by, the baby started getting a little bit healthier. And actually now, it's crazy where medicine is now, just compared to 5 years ago. Now they can go in and do a procedure on the baby while it's still inside the womb and inside the woman, which is nuts. And
is that like open heart surgery in the womb?
I don't know how far they can go, but I know, and I've held babies that, because we're very involved in the heart community now,
which we'll talk about.
Yeah, but I've held babies where that was the case, where they had that they were surgery before they were even born, which is just nuts to me. But our story, so Barbara was our daughter's name. She was named after my wife's mom. Barbara as well.
Is this your first child or second?
This was our first.
Okay.
We have a second now, but so this was about 5 years ago now, because she's almost 5. And tomorrow's her first day of the final year of preschool for her, so she's getting. But it's a happy ending. She's doing fantastic now.
Good to say, but let's talk about the crunch time.
Sure, yeah. So as the pregnancy went on, we started getting little signs during the ultrasound that, like, at one point during the ultrasound, the baby actually put her thumbs up, like, they're kind of floating in there, and then we saw that, not intentionally, because she was 6 months old in womb, but we saw something like that, and then felt, the kicking early and all that, so we started to feel good about it. But we knew that once she was born, she would go into surgery. She was born at Cedars-Sinai. Transferred to Children's Hospital the next day, and then on a Monday morning, she had open heart surgery with one of the best surgeons in the world. And you're both parents, right? You just can't even that. Yeah.
Hey, Tom, I want to let you know you just skipped over a whole bunch of time that I would want to ask you.
Sure.
You're young.
Mm-hmm.
You're married. Your wife pregnant, and that pocket of time, how did you maintain sanity?
Especially when we have jobs where we have to be super happy, right?
Right,
And
you
go
got to
out
press
there
play.
and-
Like
yeah.
you're worried about your daughter in a womb that you don't
Right.
even know if it's going to make it another. I hate to be totally blunt about
Right.
this.
No, it's
you
all right.
did not know if the baby was going to make it another week.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you got to entertain 180
Right.
Ellen fans.
Yeah. It was definitely challenging. I think a lot of guys, dads, their mindset automatically goes, all right, let me take care of my wife. That's the first. I'm fine with not necessarily hiding my emotions, but like channeling them for another time. If I need to be there, I can be there, and I cannot be crying, and that's okay, because I know that that's what I have to do. So I was able to do that. And at work, same thing. So you need an hour of being happy in a day, and that's what I've made a career on. I can make that happen.
We can fake it.
Yeah.
We can, something when you're in a bad mood and shit's falling everywhere, you can press play and fake it. But you can't fake it at home. You can't fake it on a day-to-day thing.
It was tough. I mean, we're of faith, so we were praying a lot. We were, we had the support of so much family and friends, so somehow we did get through, and what was important to my wife was that she tried to have a positive outlook during the pregnancy too, because you don't want to just have like a depression during a pregnancy, because anything could affect a baby, so so we tried to just, to be positive, be happy, and and we did our best, and we
5 years ago. How old were you?
I'll be 35 this week, so I was
So
about just under 30. I was 29, I guess. Yeah,
29 years old.
it's pretty heavy, man.
29 years old. Everything's going cool. You got a good gig,
Right.
and then all of a sudden you get this whatever it is.
Yeah.
This challenge, which I want to tell you, Bo. I want to tell you, I love the way you handled it.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you.
even though I wasn't, dealing with you on a day-to-day operation, but I knew you talked like my daughter's got a thing, and I wish I was even more on hands, supporting you.
Yeah.
And I feel bad, but you were doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, but you parlayed this to be a great thing. So you shared it, and you reach out to so many other dads.
Yeah.
And that's all on lifeisdad.com. And that's going really, really good. And did you need it more than other people? Were you doing it for yourself more than others?
Well, the website, you mean?
Yes. I'm sliding into that conversation.
Right, yeah. I always knew that I wanted to do something once I had a kid. Like when my wife first became pregnant, I thought it was going to be a boy, so I registered for TommyBoys.com, and I was like, it's going to be a father-son TV show. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
But then we found out she was pregnant with a girl, so that didn't quite happen. But I always knew I wanted to do something, whether it was and I'm big on goals. I don't know if you're the same way, but I'll like write down goals for the year, whatever. And I'll look back at my goals from back then, and one was to start a web TV show about being a father, but I had no idea even what a blog was at that point, or or a podcast even. I didn't know all these pieces.
Hold on, Tom. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
So, are you trying to tell me that you visioned a podcast and a website even before the medical issues?
Yeah, I know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought the medical issues drove you to do that.
It was kind of. I knew I wanted to do something, but then we found out about the medical issues, so then it kind of changed. I had no idea what it was going to become, but I just knew it was going to be such an important part of my life that I wanted to document it in some way, with either a funny video series or or writing in some way, a journal. But then after she was born, it started literally. I started a Facebook page, and we knew we had a lot of people that cared about us, and then I just kind of put updates, and just kind of it was very sad, but taking a positive spin on something that's really sad, and those were like the health updates I was publishing, and I wasn't trying to get press for it. I was just to get it out there to your friends and family that wanted to see it, and that seemed to be an effective way to do it. And then it kind of started to catch on a little bit. And as kids are resilient. She had surgery at 3 days old. She was home 2 weeks later. She was home before she was 2 weeks old. She had surgery, and it got bad. We're kind of going there, so why not go there?
Yeah.
The night after the surgery, you'd think everything's wonderful and great. I'm in the room when 3 times everything stops. Flat lines, machines stop.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
That's a perfect time, because we're going to take a break.
Sure.
And we're going to get back to that crazy medical heart stopping. Oh my God. Dude, you're going to make me cry. And if I start crying, I'm going to come over there and hug your ass, okay?
That's all right.
Because you're a good fucking guy.
Thanks, man. Right
and
back
I'm
at you.
so glad you're in the Garage of Love. This is Gary Adler. We're going to stop, and you guys, check this out. Do not go anywhere, because we're going to talk about how Super Dad kept his shit together. Fuck, this is good.
This is crazy.
Yeah, thank you. Don't go anywhere.
Tom Riles.
You guys have got to check out our brand new sponsor, Venice Duck Brewery. You want to get your quack on? Taste some of this. Hey, you guys, music provided by Play Up Music. That's playupmusic.com.
Words of wisdom you said to me were fewer and farther in between. Love and sacrifice through a sunken dream were complemented by a garden scene. Why?
Hey, I'm Tom Riles, and I'm on 1 Degree of Chunky B.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Garage of Love. 1 Degree of Chunky B on chunkybee.tv. If you're gonna jerk out, you jerk with this, okay? This is the best beef jerky known to mankind. And if you're thirsty, here's what you drink. It's called Venice Duck. And if you don't drink Venice Duck, go join your friends in Al Qaeda. Because you know what's more important? Tom Riles drinks Venice Duck.
I sure do, and I like it a lot.
Hey, go to the website and push some buttons. You know, I hate saying, donate, but Travis, the Wizard of the Knobs, who's not here tonight because the executive producer of Love, Gary Adler, is taking his position for tonight. That's it. And by the way, Travis just called.
He did.
Hey, if you're gonna do some shopping, stop by our website. Speaking of websites, you want to go somewhere that is fucking awesome. It's called Life of Dad. lifeofdad.com, and the man across the Garage of Love right there is Tom Riles, and he's got something so special, and it's awesome. And before we go to what we were just talking about before the break,
Sure.
Is there anything on your mind?
No, I mean, I can't wait to hear the rest of the story because where we left off was quite compelling.
Okay, real quick, check this out. Tom's daughter, heart situation, operation right off the bat. Mm-hmm. Go with what you said. Did you say flatline?
Yeah, 3 days old. She had the open heart surgery. We thought we were in the clear that night. I was in the room 3 times when everything stopped, and machines stop. Flatline. Everything starts beeping. Doctors running in from all angles. Doctors and nurses, and what's it even called? The compression to the CPR to the chest.
Stop it.
To bring her back, and they did that pretty. I mean, it was actually interesting to see how calm the nurses. They do this every night. There's other babies in there with similar situations, so they just ran in and CPR'd and got them going again. And yeah, I mean, us as first-time parents just stunned, in shock.
Yeah,
just
this
kinda
isn't how it's supposed to go.
Hoping, praying. Yeah, it was.
I'm
rough.
having trouble even comprehending.
That's crazy.
Something like, wow, our kid, skins his knee, or our kids, oh wow, they had stitches in their nose. Tom Riles, how in the fuck? Excuse my language.
That's right.
And you and your wife just had to sit there and be strong.
Yeah.
And pray and hope for the best. Continue. I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to let you know this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, I mean they saved her and they brought her back, and then we go back to her. I mean, it's wires everywhere and chest cut open. You could see her heart beating. They leave these wounds open but cover them with this super tape. Move back a little bit.
Just move the mic towards you.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
cover up the chest with like the super tape, but you can actually look in and see your kid's heart beating and moving, and so we're kind of watching that. Yeah. But she got, the first night was the roughest. The next day that didn't happen again, and the numbers started getting a little bit better each day, and I had to go back to work because that's what I had to do.
You had to work?
Yeah. But a week later, we got transferred upstairs, and we were still scared to death. But we found out later upstairs meant they're doing really well, and they're probably going to go home soon. And then 3 days later, she was home. We taped 2 Ellen shows on Thursdays. So my wife called me at about noon. No, I guess probably about 3 p.m. that day in between the 2 shows, and she said, "I think we're going home tonight." And I was like,
"Goodness,
holy crap!" So I went to the.
Let's just real quick. So I can process this. Heart issues, open heart surgery, pounding of the chest, and 3, maybe 4 days later, you're home.
I may have explained it incorrectly. Almost a weekish later, she was
whatever.
home. She was, yeah.
Who cares about but she was home.
Right, and that right there. I mean, and you guys would have the same reaction if you were me in that situation. That just changed everything in my world. And then so my mindset, maybe you were insecure about things before that, or maybe things bothered you or flustered you. But after seeing my daughter come home at 2 weeks old, after open heart surgery, I was like, all right, that's it. She's the strongest kid I know. I'm going to be a stronger person because of that. I'm gonna not that I was a killer before that, but I was still a good guy before that. But after that, I was like, all right, now I'm going to be fearless and I'm going to do what I want to do and go crush life and make her proud.
That's awesome.
And I laugh with you.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm laughing from stopping me from crying.
I'm touched by how moved you are. Seriously.
Way to go, Riles. Way to fucking go.
Yeah.
How was that drive home?
Good question.
That's a great question.
How slow did you drive?
I can see you stopping, with a stop sign, and your wife driving, even though she just gave birth, and then nobody touch.
I remember the drive vividly. We were at Children's, which is on Sunset, so we went down Sunset, and then we went down Sunset, then we came up Cahuenga. And sorry, Mike is good, or are we good?
No, you're good. You're
right,
good.
cool.
You're good, buddy. You're good.
We were going down Sunset, and then we made a right on Cahuenga. But I just remember the exact. And I was literally like, if I sensed that the light might be turning yellow within the next 10 seconds, I stopped right there, and I was going to stay right there until everyone.
Isn't it crazy? That's one thing we all remember. As first-time parents, that drive home is.
You buckled into the infant chair in your car.
We didn't have a car seat for her. No, I'm just kidding. She was in we had her triple buckled and, anything we could do to.
Oh, man, I apologize for not, you're a good man and I know you were doing your thing, but I feel a little out of touch about what a fucking great guy you are. That is incredible that a lesser man would have crumbled. A lesser man would have dropped to his knees but you manned up. You had the backbone and you did it. You did it for your wife and you did it for your kid, man.
Yeah.
Something, you have a story that very few people, and there, I got a guy across the street that, his kid had a brain tumor and they fought the good fight and my little buddy Emmett is still kicking ass, right?
Yeah.
But I bitch because my kid didn't latch on to my wife's nipple for 2 months.
Right.
I'm bitching, complaining.
That
about
was my fault, Chuck.
Wait, how?
Yeah.
I need details.
It's a long story, but seriously, I apologize for that.
I don't even know where to begin with that story.
Riles.
There's so many. All right, yeah.
Hey, let's talk about dad stuff.
Back to it.
Yeah, you know something.
You parlayed the horribleness into something positive, which is what we're here for.
Right. And now you got a 2-year-old dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Healthy dude. Yeah.
And to give us a little rundown on him, not to take away the fucking spotlight to your superhero daughter.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. That's what we call her all the time, superhero. So well said. So she's 4. Tommy Boy is 2 years old now. And
is that a junior?
Different middle name. In my generation, Thomas Riles goes back 5 generations, but always different middle names. So he's not a junior or a third, but I'm Thomas Patrick. He's Thomas James. Actually, funny story about when he was born. It was.
Can I cut in for a second?
Yeah, please.
My middle name is James.
Nice.
My son's name is James. Just want to tell you that. Go ahead.
I like it. You like that name? You approve of that middle name?
What are you kidding me? I'm about to mount you.
My father.
Prepare to be mounted.
Yeah.
Prepare to be mounted, you sexy. Okay, so go more about your son.
Yeah, when he was born, we live in Woodland Hills now. We bought a house in Woodland Hills in 2011.
Right on.
We actually rented it for 2 months because we were selling a condo before we were able to purchase that place, funds, money, all that. Anyway, so we were living in the house. We didn't have to move right at the time my wife gave birth, but we actually had somebody sign. We were signing the docs to buy our house at our kitchen table. This was on December. This would have been on November 31st, 2011.
Okay.
Then we went immediately to the hospital after that, and my wife gave birth to our son. So it was like, and then in the warm-up world, I went to work the next day. So in 24 hours, we bought a house, had a kid, and went to work. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So that was that's life of dad right there.
Oh man.
So when did you start the Life of Dad blog? And
Sure.
I know there's a lot of mommy blogs,
Mm-hmm.
and so this was sort of the answer to the mommy blog. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, and not that I was a pioneer. There are definitely other ones and great ones out there before me. But yeah, I knew I wanted to do something. And what started as just kind of health updates on my daughter way back when, suddenly when she was getting better, I could turn it into fun little stories. And I started doing goofy little videos. One was called Baby versus Burrito, where it was a challenge to myself. What can I make faster, a burrito or wrap my baby in a what's that even called? The burrito, what
cozy,
horrible
snuggly
fathers
thing,
we
yeah.
are.
No. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh no.
Is it some kind of French term
Everyone
or
at home,
Sweden term?
Tweet it out if you're listening.
Yeah.
What is it? Swaddle. The swaddle.
The swaddle.
Yeah,
Man,
the swaddle, yeah.
Yeah, right. I got you. I thought you were talking about something that you hang on top of you. No, but the swaddle.
Bjorn,
Yeah,
No, the
Bjorn.
swaddle, yeah.
See, I was right about something French or Swedish or something. No, but the swaddle is a certain tuck roll.
Exactly. Yeah, the swaddle tight. Yeah, keep the arms in so they can't bring them out.
baby
and go
burrito.
crazy.
And you
yeah,
can't
baby burrito. Yeah.
right.
So anyway, I challenged myself swaddling and
That's
or
funny.
making a baby burrito. What I could do faster. So goofy videos like that. And it was going great. And I was actually on the Ellen show, and my wife was on, and our daughter was on, and we shared the story, and so that was moving, and that actually got us really involved. After that, suddenly a lot of people that had heart conditions started reaching out to us. Asking for our advice, asking, with their kids that were going through similar things. So we're talking to parents that were in the hospital at that time with their babies, and they were moved by our story, which was shown on Ellen. So it was we were thrown into an interesting spot, which ended up becoming one of the most important parts of our life. That's become our mission, just kind of
You're a front
raising
man.
awareness.
And
and
let's slide into
funds.
that conversation.
Yeah.
You are raising awareness and finances. And you are traveling around the country kind of as a spokesperson?
Yeah, I mean, more so like an MC and auction. You do auctions, right?
Sure,
yeah.
yep.
So I've started to dabble in that. I'll always MC them, but sometimes I'll do the auction as well, for the big live fancy dinners and all that.
Can
so
we
I
do an
it.
auction off real quick?
I think we can.
I got a pot out of big, looking for a better bit of 5, got a 5, got a 5, got a 10, got a 10. No, look, time Riles goes 15. Adler goes 17, looking for a better bit. Sold.
I see $5 in the front looking for 10. I see 10 looking for 15. I got 15 over there looking. No, I can't match that. Mine.
No, he's smooth.
I'm not
See,
gonna,
that's
yeah.
the thing is I'm all herky-jerky.
I got a fun one. Can I tell a story?
course.
It's an
Go for
auction
it.
story. All right. So I've started doing these charity events, and then I got asked to do Derek Jeter's charity event this summer in New York City
Oh, wow.
for the Turn 2 Foundation. And he's on the big farewell tour, and sports were everything to me before my entire life, and even now, but now there's more important things than sports. But growing up, sports were everything to me, right? So I got asked to just do the live auction at the Derek Jeter Foundation, and I was nervous as anything, just because we see celebrities all the time, but something in my mind, athletes are the coolest people in the world, and
you're
knowing
doing
that I
something
would
for
be on
Jeter.
stage in front of Jeter, the entire Yankees team. The old World Series teams, Torrey in the front row, Bernie Williams, Posada, all of them are right there. So I got there, and I was, like I said, I was a little nervous. And then they said Jeter wants to meet you. So I went into the VIP room, and he was the calmest, coolest dude ever. And we talked for like 2 minutes. And after that, I was like, well, he's calm and he's good and he's fine with me here. So I'm just gonna go kick some butt. So I went on the stage and nailed it. But during the auction, there was a blonde lady in front. We'll say 50-ish, and she kept raising her hand for everything. I was like, I love you, $10,000, I love you. All right, we're going to the man in the back. Oh, where's the lady in the front? Oh, I love you. She's put up $15,000. She's the woman. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. I love you. And then the guy in the back and back and forth, back and forth. Jeter comes in this, and she won 2 of them, right? Okay. Jeter comes on the stage after me, and Seth Meyers. There's a name drop. Who's hosting the Emmys tonight? Anyway. I had no business being on the stage, is what I'm trying to say.
No, you're not.
I
That is
had
a
no
glorious
reason.
move. No, but keep going.
Yeah, I had no reason to be there. But anyway, Jeter comes up, and Seth Meyers, and Jeter grabbed the mic. He's like, "You realize that's a Steinbrenner in the front row, right?" And the blonde woman was Steinbrenner's daughter, I guess. And she was raising, and I had no idea. And everyone in the room knew, but I didn't know that. But it was a fun, kind of funny, endearing moment, and they seemed to really like me, so it went all right. Yeah. But that was the auction story of my life. Yeah.
How cool is that?
That's awesome.
Right?
Jeter. You want to hug this guy or punch him?
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'll take either.
Chunky B checked a bucket list off of mine during an auction. It was the Marijuana Lawyers Advocate Association
Yep.
auction at the Playboy Mansion, and he took me.
Yeah. I had one guest, and I'm
bless
like, my wife's not
Nice.
going. And I brought Gary Adler to an auction at the Playboy Mansion,
Nice.
and we went to the grotto. We, you know,
Yeah, that was fun,
and
man.
we took full advantage.
Yes,
of
we did.
the Playboy
We
Mansion.
were getting high with the peacocks.
Nick's nay on the peacock nay.
I do remember this, though. Before we left, we got to the gate. We were getting on the shuttle bus, and he and I turned around. We put our arms around each other, and we looked back for about a good 20 seconds, just bobbing our heads like,
Nice.
We did it.
we did it.
We did it. You know, if I were going to switch, I'd probably that night I'd rather be with Jeter.
Fuck that. Go Dodgers.
Yeah. All right. Listen to me. I got another couple questions. Do you want to go anywhere?
You know when you're going to get into sports again, right?
When? When he's playing, yeah,
Oh,
because he's
my
2
God.
now. Oh, this is the first football season. He's likes watch. He's been watching training camp with me, so he's gonna finally.
Who's your team?
I'm
You know something? You're right. Let's talk dads.
Yeah.
Let's talk dads. What do you do on the weekend? I know you got your daughter and your wife, and you got your little 2-year-old punk.
Sure.
But what does Riles do to be a fucking dad and
Sure.
a dude?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Today was, and my wife was there too, of course, and she's phenomenal. We went to the LA Zoo today, so today was a zoo day.
Nice.
We were out there. Tomorrow I kind of start work again. You know, warm up is
Ellen.
it's different seasons. And you're quiet, very quiet for me over the summer.
Yeah.
So tomorrow we really get back into it. Yeah, so today was like the last day, and my daughter starts school tomorrow too. So we went to the zoo today, and we were there just kind of hanging out. And finally, my kids are of age where they don't fall asleep too much. They're totally
Right.
into the whole thing, you know.
I love the
So
LA
that was
Zoo.
today.
I hear the zoo's
Yeah.
cool these days. Is that true?
It's
I haven't
cool.
been in 15 years.
Oh no, you gotta go because you know you got Betty White fucking just fighting a good fight for the elephants, and the elephants are happy, and you know even a tiger thing. Did you go to the glass thing with?
Oh, yeah.
And so you saw, you know, last time I was there, the tiger was up against the glass. When you get an animal up against the glass, you know, like ooh, you know, it makes your day.
It didn't happen today, but my wife saw a gorilla rape another gorilla last time she was there.
Really?
So that
Really?
Was,
You have to
yeah,
break
she
that up.
was-
We're talking
yeah.
about how great the zoo
Right.
is, and
that
there was
happens. That's
Now it's
human
gorilla
nature.
rape.
did they
have-
throw shit at you
No.
after the? Did you really see it? Really?
Yeah, she did. Yeah. It
Did
was.
anyone press charges?
No, but Dr. Wendy Walsh found her.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I would. You know, I'm a zoo guy. When I was living in San Diego, I was 4 years old. I had a season pass.
Nice.
I used to get stoned and go to the zoo.
Ixnay on the ooze. Hey, so Chunky B, as a dad, what's coming up for you? What do you got going
Okay,
on?
but check this out.
Bring it.
My daughter, and this just happened. We're talking about what's the day? Monday. This happened
Yesterday.
No, it happened Saturday. So my daughter sits there, and this is coming down a theater near you.
How old is she?
She's 15 now.
Okay.
And she's in the honor program over at Venice. And, you know, I'm okay with Venice as long as you keep an eye on everything. And, by the way, I'm happy to brag, as a freshman, she was the only freshman to make the varsity swim team. Right? Nice. Boom. And now she's doing water polo. Everything's kind of cool. She goes, I look at these grades. You get a grade emailed to you every day.
Yeah.
And it's called Jupiter grades. You'll dial into it. D+ in Spanish. And I'm like, you want a nose ring? Because she's been begging for a nose ring.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way you can't get a nose ring with a D+. She goes, when's a B+? Can I get it? It took her 2 days. She's totally scammed me. She got a B+ grade, even though it's only the second week in freaking high school, sophomore. I brought her there, and my daughter got a nose ring.
She got the D on. Do you think she got the D on purpose?
I don't- she played me.
lay.
She
Oh,
played me.
wow.
And my wife was mad, like, you undercut me because I wanted to give it to her for her birthday or Christmas or something. She hit me. It was like the rope-a-dope. She was just pounding me, and I was like, and I'm like, all right. I tapped out.
Yeah.
I tapped out. I took her, and we went online and we found the best spot we could. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what it was. Monkey Tattoo or
Monkey Inc.
Monkey Ink on Venice and
Brought her
Lincoln.
in there.
Yeah. That's the best place you can go.
I think there's been many cases of
Shut up.
gorilla rape in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, Tom Riles. One, I adore you.
Likewise.
2, I love your integrity, your character, your values, your friendship, your loyalty, and your resilience. Those are words that a few people know the definitions, and sometimes the definitions are blurred for me. But in a crazy kind of way, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And you stuck to it, and this town can really mess up your mind. But I love the fact that you had issues bigger than this town, and you still do. You deserve Ellen and that vibe that you got there. You deserve everything you get. I am honored to call you my friend, and I hope you think the same thing. Like this guy right here, there's times he wants to kill me, but this guy right here is a great friend.
Mostly I just want to mount him.
And
Do what the gorillas do.
You are a great friend. Even though we may not talk to each other every single day, you know I'm in your pocket. And is there anything I could do for you, I will do it. All right?
Yeah.
You were bulletproof when bullets were flying all around you. Your daughter could not have survived if she didn't feel the love that you and your wife gave her.
Yeah.
And then your second punk, your little boy, was just a blessing, icing on the cake. You were like, really, dude? All right, come on out. I've been through all this shit. You ain't nothing you can do to mess up my day. And you stayed strong. That's all I got.
That's just enough. But don't leave yet.
I want to hug him. I want to hang up. I want to put these down.
No, let's
hug
not
him.
do that yet, because I want the folks at home to know where they can find Tom and his organization.
Tom, talk
Totally.
to us.
Yeah, it's on lifeofdad.com. So what started as my blog is now kind of this network of blogs and a bunch of different writers and a bunch of different podcasts and videos. And it's a social network, too. People can join and talk about fatherhood, all that stuff. So lifeofdad.com is where it's at. But thank you, Chunky. I really appreciate you having me on. You've been a good friend as well. You taught me a lot of things about the business at the beginning, even though until tonight we haven't connected on an emotional level. I now consider you a good friend as well. So thank you for having me. And Gary, you went to the Playboy Mansion once, and that's cool. And
Aren't
you have a couple
forgetting
kids,
something, Chunky?
and that's
How to
awesome.
wrap this show up with one question from.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, wait a second.
I stunned you with
No. Normally, when the wizard, Travis Spencer's there, he always closes with one question. And even though Gary is the executive producer, we're going to give him the final question.
Wow, thanks a lot, Chunky. I don't know how you came to that, but here's what I want to ask you. Right now, you're working on the Ellen DeGeneres show. You're a warm-up comedian. You got your wife. You got your kids. Things seem to be perfect. Where do you want to go from here? What's next for you?
Sure. I've always wanted to be a host on TV, and I've always kind of taken steps towards that. And I've always looked at the minor leagues, and Chucky and I have talked about this as looked at warm-up as kind of being the minor leagues of that. But the whole website thing has turned into this thing where suddenly I understand business now and have started a business, and that's pretty mind-blowing to me. So just have really high hopes for that, and that thing continuing to move forward week after week, year after year, and really turn into this place where whenever some guy's about to become a parent, he realizes, hey, that's a site I have to go to. That's what I have to join and learn about fatherhood. So
That's awesome.
that's where I'm at now. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hey, thanks.
Gary Adler, executive producer in The Garage of Love from 1 Degree to Chunky B on chunkybee.tv. My heart goes to you and your family. You are always welcome in The Garage of Love. And please do not hesitate. Even if you want to come back and talk more father stuff,
Yeah.
you're 100% invited.
I feel like we could do another hour-long show right
No
now.
kidding. That's what I'm thinking, too.
There's so much we haven't covered. Yeah. So
Tom
I would love
Riles.
to come back.
You promise?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tom Riles, don't be an idiot. Look him up. Life of Dad. This is Chunky B, and we are DONE.
Yeah.
just have to make a comment about Chunky B.